Award recognizes an individual whose research, professional achievements, and cumulative contributions have brought personal distinction, enhanced the profession. I'm just going to go ahead and start off with giving you a round of applause, Deborah. Congratulations on receiving this honor from the UW School of Nursing, and thank you so much for joining me here today. Why did you choose to pursue a career in research?
Yeah, so I think it really started early as a nurse. I started having questions about why we did things and how we should do them. And as I moved through my career, I started doing a little bit of research and realized that I was at a point that I kind of knew enough to get to a certain point, but needed more information. And so from there, I pursued my PhD so I could get more information and be able to support people more effectively.
Very nice. And what unique qualities do nurses bring to research?
Oh, yeah. So there are numerous. And so it's funny because I often have discussions with physicians and other colleagues, and I'm still kind of, beating my drum on why nurses lead research. And what I find in my work is nurses are closest to the work. They really know what the questions are. And most of what we do in pediatric nursing is really based on history. It's not based on research. And so nurses who are taking care of the patients, who spend the majority of their time with patients more so than any other provider, can really see what's going on with the children that we care for and their families, and really the best position to start asking questions about how and why we do things.
There weren't many opportunities for me to go to school. And so I actually wanted to get my degree in nursing, but since I could not get into a school close to my home, I ended up going to school in Oklahoma. So access to opportunities for people was very limited. So I've seen that change over time. And I also have seen the number of underrepresented students be admitted to BSN programs. In the early days, if you wanted to be, if you were Black and wanted to be a nurse, you ended up almost being a nursing assistant or an LPN until you were in practice some period of time or something else opened up. So it's very limited in terms of access. The challenges have been for us in nursing is not only get people in, but to keep them in. And so I have seen some progress in there, although we have a long ways to go. I still hear students say today, I'm the only one in my class out of 80.
I can understand why that would be challenging. I mean, I think we can all think of a time when we were the only one of something in a room, right. The only woman in a room, the only Black person in a room, the only outwardly queer person in a room, the only poor person in a room. And, it really can impact not only your comfort there, but also the way people include you in conversations, the way people see you and if they see you. Right. So people have a habit of looking to and at people who look like them. And so if you're the only one of a type of person in a room, I can see how staying in a program would be an extra challenge. Mm-hmm. So retention of students of color definitely sounds like an area of improvement that you see as necessary in the nursing profession. Are there other areas of improvement that you still hope to see in the profession of nursing?
Oh, it's a lot. But I think as we recruit underrepresented people into nursing, it doesn't matter if they're nursing or if they are people from the LGBT community, wherever we are.
Well, tell me this. So you're receiving the Alumni Award, which means that you are an alumni of the UW School of Nursing. Tell me how your education there influenced your career.
One of the best decisions that I made in my life, in my professional life, was to decide to move to Seattle in 2004 to reset my career and go to nursing school at the University of Washington, where I started in the summer of 2004 as a 40-year-old second career nurse wannabe, because I had another career. And I was in the East Coast in Boston for 20 years before I made this change. And I don't know how to put in words how I feel about the University of Washington School of Nursing, because they are an incredible place where I became the nursing professional that I am today.
Thanks to all of you for this honor. I was quite surprised when I learned of this, because I feel that nurses are such a wonderful, integral part of our community and our lives that I just kind of like to brag about them whenever I can, and like to listen to them and learn from them and promote their causes, because I think if you look back, everybody probably who's listening to this can look on your lives, and those and have been interacting with nurses from the times actually they were born until probably they leave this earth. And there's many intersections with nurses in my life. And I am just really proud to kind of be able to be a little bit of a bully pulpit for them and to tout all the achievements that they have.
I fell into nursing. I didn't know what I went to college fairly young and didn't really know what I wanted to do. And my mom was a nurse. My aunt was a nurse. Another aunt was a nursing professor where I went to college. And I was had to make a decision. And I said, well, nursing kind of interests me. And I've been really thrilled to have fallen into that, to both work as a nurse, but also the variety of opportunities that being a nurse gives you. So I've worked, started early in my career as a Peace Corps volunteer, and have done a lot of overseas work, and then came back, and through that work really became more aware of and impressed by the urgency with the disparities that exist, the health disparities in particular, and resource disparities, both in our own country and worldwide. And so came back really wanting to do that community-based preventive work, so that we help folks thrive before they land on our doorstep for more acute care. So I think through all of the work I've done, that has really been the thread, increasing access and decreasing disparities for mostly higher risk populations.
Hello, everyone. I am your MC for the evening, Sasha Summer Cousineau. Now, life in the age of COVID. If you're here, that means you found the new link. Thumbs up to you. You are an interwebs champion. Check on your friends though. Make sure your friends also made it to the new link. If you just want to like grab that link and email it to any of your friends that you know are supposed to be at this event, now would be the time to do that so we can get everybody on board over here. And you know, that's just how we have to roll in these virtual events. Hashtag I blame COVID. However, we are going to have a win tonight. This is going to be a fabulous night that we're going to have together. Hopefully, you've been enjoying the videos of our awardees and quotes from the wonderful nursing scholars. And since you're here, I don't know, about 10 minutes-ish before our program starts, you deserve a little something special, don't you? Yeah, I think you do. I think you absolutely deserve the chance to win a prize. Woohoo! So, if you haven't already done so, you want to make sure that you have set up a YouTube account. It's called a channel here on YouTube, but it's just having an account. Pro tip, if you have a Gmail account, you can log into Gmail or log into YouTube using your Gmail credentials. And you're wondering why, Sasha? Why are you talking to me about making a YouTube account or logging in with my Gmail credentials? I'm really glad you asked that question. That is a smart question. The reason is because I want you to converse with me in the chat function. And you're going to need to make use of the chat function to win the prize. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you a trivia question. And then as quickly as you can, you're going to take your little chatting fingers on over to the chat box and you're going to enter the correct answer to my question. And to keep it extra exciting, the third person who puts the correct answer into the chat will be our winner. And now you're asking, Sasha, well, what will I win when I win? Because I'm a winner. I agree, you are a winner. Here's what you're gonna win. You are going to get a $25 Starbucks gift card, and you see I'm holding something in my hands, right? Are you ready for the reveal? You're gonna get these awesome UW School of Nursing branded knee-high socks. Take a peek at this. What? Hashtag Husky Nurse. And on the other side, we got our beloved Husky. So cute. I mean, obviously, when you win these, you're going to be sipping a cup of coffee, you're going to be wearing your cozy socks, you're going to be having fond memories of everything you love about the UW School of Nursing. So, are you ready? Because here comes the trivia question. All right, here we go. With which hospital did the UW School of Nursing first partner to deploy students for clinical placements shortly after the school's inception? All right. I'm going to give you some time to answer, and I'm going to look in the chat and see who's answering. Remember, the third person who puts the correct answer in the chat will win the $25 Starbucks card and the awesome socks. If you need a refresher as to the question is right there on your screen. You are looking at it. I'm poking the question. Poke, poke. There you are, question. It's right there. So take a look at that, and I will just say, if you want to Google machine it really quick, you can. So I see the answers coming in the chat. Somebody has said Harborview. Somebody else said UW. Somebody said Providence. We have more Harborviews. Harborview is looking like, Swedish. We have a Swedish, another Harborview. I'm not a betting gal, but if the odds were going to go with the most frequently seen answer, maybe I would bet on Harborview, but I have no need to bet. You want to know why? Because I'm looking at the answer right now. I have a cheat sheet. Are you ready for the answer? Are you ready for the answer? So, somebody else says Swedish. Willard says Swedish. Okay, here we go. Virtual drum roll, please. And the answer is Harborview. Yes. Harborview Medical Center. Good job to everyone who joined in. Our behind the scenes team is going to just document which of you was the third to answer correctly in the chat. They're going to let you know that you've won. Here is how you will claim your prize. You are going to send an email to SON event. That stands for School of Nursing Event. So it's SON event at uw.edu. And in that email, you'll let us know your full name and your mailing address so we can send you your super snazzy socks and your $25 Starbucks gift card. All right, now if you didn't win this round, don't sweat it, friends. You have 2 more chances to win something tonight. So again, if you have yet to do it,
make sure you have either logged into YouTube with your Gmail credentials or you've created your YouTube account called a channel here. I know, why do they gotta make it weird, right? Like, I don't want a channel, I just want an account. That's channel, account, same diff in YouTube. It's so easy. So, also, I want to let you know that one of the prizes issued tonight will happen at the very, 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 very end of the program. The program's not terribly long, so you can totally hang out for that. And you want to hang out because the UW School. Grab yourself a beverage. I hope you're well nourished and get yourself nice and comfy, cozy, and settled in because we have a fantastic program starting again, like I said, in just a few minutes. See you soon.
Hello, I am here with Deborah Riddling, Associate Chief Nurse for Practice and Research at Seattle Children's. And the reason we are here together is because the UW School of Nursing is honoring her with their Distinguished Researcher Award. This award recognizes an individual whose research, professional achievements, and cumulative contributions have brought personal distinction, enhanced the profession. I'm just going to go ahead and start off with giving you a round of applause, Deborah. Congratulations on receiving this honor from the UW School of Nursing, and thank you so much for joining me here today. Why did you choose to pursue a career in research?
Yeah, so I think it really started early as a nurse. I started having questions about why we did things and how we should do them. And as I moved through my career, I started doing a little bit of research and realized that I was at a point that I kind of knew enough to get to a certain point, but needed more information. And so from there, I pursued my PhD so I could get more information and be able to support people more effectively.
Very nice. And what unique qualities do nurses bring to research?
Oh, yeah. So there are numerous. And so it's funny because I often have discussions with physicians and other colleagues, and I'm still kind of, beating my drum on why nurses lead research. And what I find in my work is nurses are closest to the work. They really know what the questions are. And most of what we do in pediatric nursing is really based on history. It's not based on research. And so nurses who are taking care of the patients, who spend the majority of their time with patients more so than any other provider, can really see what's going on with the children that we care for and their families, and really the best position to start asking questions about how and why we do things.
Hello, good evening. I am so happy to see you. I am your MC this evening, Sasha Cousineau, and therefore it is my job and my pleasure to welcome you to the 2020 Nurses of Influence Award celebration. Thank you so much for joining us tonight to celebrate nurses and recognize their leadership role in improving health and changing lives. Before we get into the rest of tonight's festivities, I'd like to start us off by honoring place. The University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish peoples of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands within the Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. You can learn more about what land you are occupying by visiting the link that we're going to drop in the chat for you right now. So our program is going to last somewhere between about 50 and 60 minutes, but just you know, it is going to be an inspiring and beautiful hour or so that we'll spend together. We will recognize our 2020 Nurses of Influence. You'll hear from some great speakers. And you, lucky little duckling, you have the opportunity tonight to support nursing scholarships. Also, even more fun, you get to win some prizes along the way. I mean, this sounds like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-time win. We're already winning. So many wins because this is an awesome program. Tonight, we want to celebrate nurses and the nursing community, but also highlight the importance of an excellent nursing education by hearing from one of our amazing PhD students. Before we get into the heart of the program, though, gratitude is important, isn't it? I would like to express some gratitude, and we have some folks who do dearly deserve to hear some gratitude from us, and that would be our sponsors. My goodness, sponsors, thank you so much for supporting the School of Nursing and helping us to make our first ever virtual Nurses of Influence celebration happen. Now, if you are here representing one of the organizations and businesses of our sponsors, we want you to drop into the chat and say hello to us right now. I love using the chat as a way to see who's here and to connect with you. So, sponsors, when you hear me say your business or organization, say, that's me, and let us know that you're here so we can continue to applaud you and thank you. Here it goes. Thank you to Era Living, Multicare, Washington State Nurses Association, CMAR Community Health Center, UW Medical Centers, Molina Healthcare, Overlake Medical Center and Clinics, Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, Seattle Children's Hospital, Live Oak AV, which is where we're broadcasting from, live right now at Live Oak, and Rebel Rouser Events. Thank you all for supporting nurses and nursing education through your partnership and support of the UW School of Nursing. And let's see, did we have any sponsors say thank you? Not yet, but I'm looking at the chat, I'm looking for you, and I love when you say, okay, time for some fun. We want to give you a chance to show off your brain power. You know, I've been around the world enough to know that nurses, some sharp tacks, generally the sharpest tacks in the pile. And rumor has it, I've been told, I won't tell you who said it, that nurses are just a little bit competitive. So, to meet you with your brain power and your competitive nature, we have a trivia opportunity coming up, and the trivia opportunity comes with what? A prize. Yes, indeed. So I keep saying we want you to be in that chat. When I point over here, I'm pointing at the chat. You don't know that. You're like, lady, what are you doing with the hand? What does this mean? It means chat. That's what it means. Here's how this is going to work. I will ask you a trivia question. You will take your chatting fingers and get on over there in the chat, and you're going to answer the trivia question as quickly as you can. Our awesome behind-the-scenes team is going to track your answers, and we'll figure out who is the winner. Let's keep it extra spicy, extra fun. We are going to say that the fifth person to answer correctly in the chat is going to win the prize. So are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Here it goes. Here's the trivia question. In which year was the UW School of Nursing founded? Again, in which year was the UW School of Nursing founded? You are going to head into the chat and answer that. And while you're in the chat answering that question, I'm going to let you know about the prize. The winner of this round of trivia will win a $50 Amazon gift card. And what do I have in my hand? You want to know what I have in my hand because it is hashtag Husky Nurse socks. They're super cute, knee-high socks. And on they have the Husky. So cute, our mascot right there. Hashtag Husky Nurse, it says under the little Husky. So I hope you're getting your answers into the chat. Again, that question is, in which year was the UW School of Nursing founded? And you know you want these socks and the $50 gift card, so you got to answer because we're looking for the fifth person. And right now, I see 2 people who have answered. So keep it coming, keep it coming. I'm not going to tell you the real answer until I see more of you have answered. Again, just a reminder, who doesn't need a $50 gift card from Amazon? I mean, COVID safe, right? You don't have to go anywhere. You can get your Q-tips or your whatever. I mean, Amazon has it all. Okay, so we have 1945 is a frequent answer. We have a 1910 coming from Glenda. Sydney thinks it was 1920. I hope I say your name correctly. I can't even talk correctly. How am I going to say your name correctly? Marites, I think that's your name. You're saying 1945. Do we have any other answers? Any other? Because I'm going to close this out. We're looking for the fifth person with the correct answer. Oh, Barbara says 1923. Okay, so 1945 says, Jenny says keep it coming. Nancy says 1945. We have a lot of people who are saying 1945 might be the answer. Well, I'm about to burst some bubbles. Sorry about it, but here it goes. The correct answer is 1918. That's 1918. Yes, the UW School of Nursing has been with us for over 100 years. How hard does that rock? I mean, that rocks super hard. So our team behind the scenes is going to figure out which one of you was the winner. Truth be told, I don't think 5 people answered 1918. So we're going to get creative behind the scenes to figure out who gets that prize. In any event, they're going to let you know if you're the prize winner. And don't worry, if you didn't win this one, we still have one more opportunity for you to win a prize. But guess what? I got to steer away from this trivia situation now because I have something far more awesome in store for you. Here we go. Coming to our virtual stage, also known as your screen, whatever device you're watching on, but I like to say virtual stage because it sounds fancier, is the Executive Dean of the UW School of Nursing. And she is here to welcome you tonight and speak to the importance of nurses. So please head to the chat, give a warm welcome and lots of hoots and hollers for Dean Azita Emami. Take it away, Azita.
Welcome and thank you for attending this year's virtual presentation of Nurses of Influence. This has in so many ways been an extraordinary year for all of us. We have seen the WHO's International Year of the Nurse and the Midwife. We have seen the Global Nursing Now initiative, and we have, of course, seen the coronavirus pandemic. Each of these events, in its own way, made nursing more visible and helped the public better understand why nurses are such a vital part of the healthcare ecosystem. There's much for us to celebrate tonight and much for us to be proud of. I want to thank each of you for everything you have done to elevate nursing research, education, and clinical care, while also working to create a healthier community. In a little while, we will be recognizing several nurses of influence. Their stories and efforts are noteworthy and commendable, especially given the current circumstances. But I want to point out that all nurses are nurses of influence. Each of you, each day, has the opportunity to influence the opinion of others about what nursing is, what nursing does, where nursing is done, and the wide range of roles that nursing plays in impacting life. We need to be influencers in order to gain public, legislative, and other support for all we do, from research to policy making to community and population health care to clinical care. Because nursing is what we do, it's all too easy to forget that the majority of the public does not know all we do. They think of us as clinicians, but they don't know that today nurses often are independent providers, very capable providers of primary care in both urban and rural settings. They don't know of all advanced practices and specialties nurses hold. They don't know that we lead public health campaigns and do basic research. They don't know that we often have doctoral degrees, not only PhDs, but also DNPs. There's a lot of influencing to be done if we are to assume our rightful place as full partners in healthcare. We need to be nurses of influence so we can be policymaker nurses, and CEO nurses and research nurses and primary care nurses and so forth and so on. We need to be influencers so that nursing education is funded at a level that enables us to educate a nursing workforce that is prepared to meet national and global demand for nurses in all capacities. There's one other and very important way in which we can all be influencers. This has been a year in which the spotlight has focused on the urgent need for anti-racism and equity in all things, including healthcare. In our state and many other parts of the country, racism is now declared as a public health crisis. We can and should and must use our influence individually and professionally to advocate for anti-racist healthcare systems and services and for all people despite their color of skin, their ethnicity, gender, age, religion, sexual orientation, physical, mental, and behavior ability, and education as well as social and financial status have equitable access to equitable quality of care. Thank you.
Oh, Dean Emami, it is so good to see you, and thank you so much for that warm welcome. I also have to say, I am loving watching the conversation in the chat. There is some very heartwarming conversation happening. One of a family member, I believe, of one of our awardees just said congratulations to her in the chat. We have some various grads giving themselves a shout out in the year they graduated. Keep that good conversation coming. It just is a joy to be able to connect with you. So thank you for participating in the chat. Now, for another treat. Our next speaker is a fifth-year PhD student in nursing at the UW School of Nursing. Her research focus is on cancer and cardiology, and I am 100% certain that you will be as wowed by her as I am. Please head to the chat and give your warmest virtual welcome to Alexi Vassbinder.
Good evening. My name is Alexi Vassbinder, and I'm the future of nursing. I chose nursing for the same reason most of you did, a desire to serve others and an interest in healthcare. But I chose nursing for another reason as well. That reason was my vision of what nursing and healthcare will be a decade from now, and how I might have a role in that transformation. Now, I must confess that unlike some of you, I did not dream about becoming a nurse from the time I was 5 years old. I started my higher education journey at the University of Michigan with the intention of pursuing a degree in classical studies, which I decided wasn't for me after one class. I considered switching to engineering, however, I had a desire to choose a path that was going to make a direct impact on people's lives. A couple of twists and turns later, I found a job as an assistant in a neurology lab. There, I saw the importance of combining bench science with clinical practice to enhance disease management. It was at this point that I knew I wanted to go to nursing school. Once I decided nursing was the right path for me, I attended Michigan State University's Accelerated BSN program. There, I discovered my interest in oncology because of its complexity, impact, and the immense number of unanswered questions. I completed my senior practicum in medical oncology and began to see firsthand the negative impacts that cancer treatments had on people. So I chose to pursue a PhD in nursing to develop the skills necessary to investigate this further. For my PhD research, I wanted to find a way to identify new or validate existing biomarkers that could be used in oncology settings to understand the mechanisms of adverse effects of cancer treatments. Further, I wanted to use these biomarkers to help predict individuals who are at a greater risk for cardiovascular disease and symptoms after treatment. It was very important for me to find a nursing PhD program that had the resources and expertise to conduct biomarker research. Surprisingly, very few programs did. My mentor at MSU, Dr. Barbara Smith, told me about the University of Washington's program, so I reached out to Dr. Margaret Heitkemper and Dr. Karen Redding. Both were immediately engaged, eager to discuss my interests, and began brainstorming potential projects that fit my interest. I felt an instant connection, and I could tell from those brief calls that the University of Washington School of Nursing would be an excellent fit for me. Now, in my 5th year of the PhD program, I can confidently say I made the right choice. The mentorship and support I've gotten in my time here has been unparalleled. Throughout my experiences in education, I have come to deeply appreciate the holistic approach that nurses take to care. What makes nursing so unique and at the forefront of translational science is that it encompasses a range of perspectives, focusing on the biological, psychological, and sociocultural aspects of patient care and research. Because my interest in applying bench science to nursing research has been nurtured in my PhD program, my mind has been opened further to the range of possibilities that the future of nursing science has to offer. Here's my vision for the future. First, my vision of nursing includes increasing the integration of technology. Biomarkers and artificial intelligence are two of the exciting tools that are emerging and helping to create a truly transformative opportunity for nurses. And this is very much my future. As part of my postdoctoral training, I plan on expanding my research approaches using these techniques to improve outcomes in cancer survivors. Next, my vision is one in which advanced nursing degrees become accessible to all nurses to address the ever-growing need for more nurse scientists to continue to move our field and research forward. I want all students to know that their opportunities are not just limited to being at the bedside. They too can participate in research that helps shape healthcare practices. Last, but not least, I see a future in which nursing science gets the credit and recognition it deserves. I realize that it is only recently that nurses were given a chance to pursue PhD and DNP degrees so they could stand as intellectual and academic equals in healthcare and science. I recognize that many have been working for this, and I am excited to join you in amplifying the voice of nurses in research. In short, like those honored here tonight and the nurses in attendance, I want to become a leader in nursing to bring these big, bold, and exciting visions to life. I am truly proud to be a part of the nursing community, and I would not be where I am today without the support I have received from the University of Washington School of Nursing. Thank you.
The benefit of Alexi being here, we're keeping, as you can see, COVID safe distance, and when not on camera, we're all wearing our masks. But the benefit to having Alexi here is that I can applaud her in real life, but you all can do it virtually, and you have been doing it through her entire speech. People are saying, hooray, Alexi, you're amazing. I'm just reading to her. Our students are our future nursing leaders. We are so proud of you. The possibility sending some love to Alexi in the chat. That's what it's there for. And I have to say, I am blown away by this young woman. Alexi and I talked about this. We had a little dinner while we were waiting for the show to start. And my dad has cholangiocarcinoma right now, so a form of cancer, a form of liver cancer. And he's going through life-saving treatment. Incredible, life-saving treatment. Thank you for the science. But it's so heartwarming for me to hear her talk about the experience of cancer treatment and to know that somebody cares that not only is it curing the cancer, but they care about how the patient actually feels. And so I think about my dad when Alexi talks about that, and I feel totally heartwarmed. So thank you, Alexi. And thank you, UW School of Nursing, for giving us this opportunity to hear from Alexi. If you were inspired by Alexi, like I clearly was, we invite you to make a gift of support to nursing students right now. Maybe you can give a gift of $100. Maybe you can give a gift of $500. Maybe what works in your budget right now is $10, $20, or $50. Any amount that you can donate to support the UW School of Nursing Scholarship Fund is going to make a difference in the lives of our nursing students by making their education at the UW School of Nursing more accessible. To make a gift or pledge, you can just click the link we're dropping in the chat for you right now. So it's right there at your fingertips. And friends, the future is now. You see this little QR code right here? I'm poking it. Poke, poke, poke. I'm gonna get you, QR code. So you can just scan that with your phone, and then you're going to feel like you're on Star Trek: The Next Generation, using your phone like a scanner. And then what's going to happen is you're going to just be transported to a place where you will turn into an amazing philanthropist. So go ahead and scan that QR code or click the link that we are dropping in the chat. I haven't seen the link come in the chat yet, but it will very soon, and you're going to be automatically directed to our online giving page. Ain't that fancy? It sure is. We keeps it fancy at the UW School of Nursing. Okay, while you're digging out your credit card and entering your gift information, I'd like to take a few moments to tell you more about the impact your gift will make. This year alone, the School of Nursing awarded $1.6 million in scholarship awards to 145 students. 10% of those awards were from the Nursing Scholarship Fund alone. And while we are so proud to be able to provide support to our students, this year we actually have approximately $13.5 million in unmet financial need. Now, let's be clear. Our scholars represent nursing students from all walks of life. I mean, walk around on the UW campus and you will see all walks of life there, including first-generation students, working parents, non-traditional students, and as you might imagine, some of our students' lives have been impacted by COVID-19, and they've had to consider whether to continue their education this year or not. And that's just not a choice or I want these students to make. I mean, Alexi, we need her to continue her education. We need the other students like her to continue their education for exactly the types of innovations that Alexi spoke about. I mean, they are the future of nursing. They are the future leaders of nursing. Each student, just like Alexi, has their own story to tell, and your gift of support right now means that you can be part of that story, and even better, you can be part of that success story. So please do consider making a gift in any amount that is meaningful to you. And again, we'll drop that link in the chat for you, and